I have Eric Braverman. He is live on air with me. He is one of the creators of Heavy Metal Television. Hi, Eric. Welcome to the Audio Sauna.
Good morning. It's nice to be in the Audio Sauna.
So tell me a little bit about Heavy Metal Television. I know that this just started. You just started streaming a couple of weeks ago. What has been the response? And tell me a little bit about how you created this whole thing and where people can go, and just give me the lowdown on this Heavy Metal Television thing.
Okay, here's the lowdown. A little quick backup is I come out of metal journalism and development of metal projects. For instance, I did soundtrack to the Apocalypse for Slayer. If you buy that, the book inside there I wrote. So I know a lot about heavy metal stuff. I was the best man at somebody in Metallica's wedding. We won't mention their name because we don't want to embarrass anyone in Metallica more than we're going to. So I know a lot about this stuff, and I've been working at some very known magazines like Metal Hammer UK. A lot of your fans probably know Metal Hammer UK. Well, people aren't that fun as we are here in Arizona. So as I went and dealt with these things, they would always gnaw at me about making fun of Dave Mustaine or making fun of Phil Anselmo or James Hetfield, and they would try to scold me or rein me in when I'm telling a truthful story that they asked for. And then they also, just the organizations themselves, not very fun, not very metal, as I like to say. They're not very metal people for doing all these metal things. So I thought, let's just go do our own thing. And as I'm doing this, the last thing I posted was a interview with myself and a young lad named Joe Elliott, who many of your viewers like and many of your viewers hate. So over a couple months of this year, we became like the #1 Joe Elliott interview on Google. So if you just go to Google and put in Joe Elliott interview, you'll see me right at the top out of millions of results sitting there with Joe Elliott. Well, the magazine we did that for was Metal Hammer. They didn't appreciate that. They don't even acknowledge anything you do because they're afraid, like, I want their job being an editor. Yeah, right. I can't even type. And they're afraid of their job. So I got my technical friends together and said, hey, we have all this technology. Why can't we just make the TV, the radio, our web stuff, all our videos, all our friends and Judas Priest and Slayer and Metallica and Sepultura and wherever they might be, and join forces and create what will be, I didn't realize this as we were building it, but after we started, we realized we will be the first 24-hour internet television channel that makes it so you can cut the cable, ditch the dish. You don't need to pay for TV anymore, and just go to your computer. And furthermore, we want it to be so much like a television channel that when you go to our site, there's no login, there's no password, there's no choices, there's no Facebook button, there's no pop-up ads. It just runs like a television channel did, the way our grandparents experienced it, just nice entertainment with some little commercials here and there. And so here we are now. We've pushed that all together, and here we are with Cynthia and all of you making 2 cracks at history, heavy metal and music history, and technological history, because the Pantera fans just beat the pants off of Apple, Microsoft, Google, and all those type of companies that now hate us. Not to mention TV.
Yeah, no kidding. I was watching it the other day, and I was like, holy crap, I've never heard of some of these bands. And it reminds me of when MTV used to play their Headbangers Ball, but only better. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And I like the fact that I can go over to the site and I don't have all that crap in front of me where I have to like you on Facebook, or, I have to go to your, whatever, your Yahoo Instant Messenger to talk to you or whatever. So are you guys going to have VJs, and stuff like that?
There are VJs now incorporated, which we're slowly putting into the mix. And we kind of did what you call a soft launch And it was very much like exactly what you said. We wanted to recreate what MTV did in the early 80s, verbatim, which is 24-hour music, maybe a bit of news at the top of the hour, which we're getting set to incorporate as we bring more technology on, VJs introducing bands, and yes, like you said, you would discover a band, because where do you discover bands anymore? Someone has to tell you, or you accidentally find it. But I mean, how do you find, you could go to YouTube and look at what you want, but you're only looking at what you already know. So what this does is it takes the classic material from Led Zeppelin till now. We have 40 years of heavy metal bands on our station, 40 years. So what you get is what you just said, 24 hours a day of heavy metal history and education every day, where you could go to their website. You could even see in the corner of our screen, it tells you a website or a company where you could find this band, whether you don't know the Butcher Babies or Iron Maiden, depending on your age and how long you've been locked up, you can find a new band while you're enjoying comfort food bands. And we ask people, give us 5 songs, and you're going to see something you love, something you haven't seen in a long time, plus find a new band that you think's cool, and you continue your heavy metal fan growth.
True that. I'm really digging it. Now, what made you, really I know you said, because you were doing all this other stuff, but how did this all come together? I mean, it's an amazing technological feat in itself.
It is, and I'm really thank you for kind of going back to that core of what that is, which is we are the first 24-hour internet television channel in the history of the earth. Before ESPN, before Fox News, before ABC, if you go to your computer right now, you cannot find any 24-hour television channel running like a channel. So I was frustrated by all just going to a website and being thrown this jungle of images and photos and text and lines up and down and different size buttons, and they're always directing you in another place. It drove me nuts. And as you people know, as you watch your cable TV, they're actually saying to you, go to our website at abc.com. It's like, I'm watching the show. Now you're telling me to go to a website for more on the story? Or you're trying to enjoy the movie and the dinosaur is about to step on somebody and they put a pop-up ad for some bachelorette show coming on in 2 days. So those were frustrating me. Then, like I said, simple as it is, most of these people in the music business are not fun, or it's so hard that they've lost their sense of humor, or they think they're more important than they are, which we're not as important as even the garbage man. I mean, music industry is the least important job you can have. So I just had the technical people in front of me already doing videotapes with me. We're out interviewing bands every month. We're posting them on different portals through the internet. We're using search engine optimization to get the maximum people there. And the technology's sitting in front of me, Cynthia. The bands are sitting in front of me. Let's just simply tie them together. I mean, there's not, this all just happened in the last 100 days. So we only conceptualized this during the summer, and then we just started running with it. And like you said, asked about the VJs, we're just putting them into the fold right now. I actually just saw a VJ on there, and it went from there. And then I just went to my DVD collection, my friends' collections, went to some record companies like Metal Blade Records, where we've known the president, Brian Slagle, for 25 years, and just said, can I have videos? He just threw open the vaults and said, take whatever you want. Please don't bother me. And we just built this station. We're adding bands every day. We're adding content. So it's still forming with the help of the fans and the people working on the behind-the-scenes part. So it might never be done.
Well, I don't think it ever is going to be done. I think it's an animal that just keeps growing and growing and growing as more bands, know and find out that what you're doing is, this exceptional piece of, history right there.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, hi, we beat Disney. Like Disney, the mouse, Mickey Mouse, he gave up on this type of project this week because he said it was too complicated for him. So we are lucky enough to have the right people and the right timing, and we have people working on this all over the world. I mean, we have a web guy in North Carolina. We've got, a publicist in Scotland. We've got a person that's, gathering content all over the world. We have a publicist here in Arizona. We have offices out in LA doing business management and accounting for us, and dealing with the what used to be record labels, all that stuff. It's almost like we're not even sure where we're going. We just want to make it cool, so you always are seeing a cool band. And some people, quite frankly, are kind of taken aback by the fact that we play Cannibal Corpse and Def Leppard back-to-back, or we play Slayer and Motley Crue back-to-back. Some people don't like that. We probably don't like those kind of people, because another thing that frustrates me is all these people trying to classify different kinds of metal. Says that there's different kinds of metal is an idiot, and that is bullshit. So you people out there that want to say, oh, it's goth metal, it's hair metal, it's grindcore, it's classic, it's all just heavy metal music. There's not different classifications of classical music or, country music. You just get country music. So it's kind of like we're trying to bring the tribes together, which have become quite fractured over the last years, where there's all these different camps. We're trying to make it kind of like a Central European rock festival, like Wacken or Sonosphere or the Download Festival in England, where you can have a Black Sabbath and a Slipknot and a Butcher Babies and a Scorpions all under the same tent all day long. Ties back to your point at the beginning about MTV. If you're old enough to remember MTV, they played every kind of music. You just went there. It was music television. They didn't ghettoize the music the way they started to by going, okay, we'll have Headbangers Ball. It'll be over here on the other side of the tracks at this weird time once a week. Then it's, we'll have Yo MTV Raps, and we'll put Yo MTV Raps over here, and we'll put it in this kind of thing. Where our deal is just, it's all just music. Don't you want to go and get educated and learn about other bands or have different moods striking you? I don't want to just be hit with Cannibal Corpse 24 hours a day.
True that. But what I was going to ask you is, what do you think that your favorite bands are in heavy metal?
Well, my favorite bands, because I'm like a 97-year-old person, so I just basically listen to what you would think. My favorite bands are AC/DC, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Slayer, Judas Priest, and Ozzy Osbourne with Randy Rhoads or Tony Iommi. And then I just go down the list from there, probably to Dio or Rush or Accept or Sepultura, and then just start kind of flailing from there. But I like it all, and I'm even using this device as a tool myself, so you people know, like, I put in what I think should go in, then our technical staff, who are decades apart from me in age, they put in their flavors, and they're not being restricted. So this playlist is being developed by some people that are 50 years old and some people that are 19 years old working together and saying, oh, that one's great, let's put it in, or hey, have you seen this before? And I mean, the kids played a video by Motley Crue the other day, Girls, Girls, Girls. And I'm like, don't play that. That's overplayed. That's just stupid. Play some hard Motley Crue. Well, they get back to me with, I never saw this video. It's really cool. I never saw this video. It's awesome. I've heard the song, but I've never seen the video. Why can't we play it? Where? So, see, you don't really know who's going to like what. So we're just trying to offer. And then, again, you could see illustrated, a lot of these young people never saw MTV. They never thought of, let's go on YouTube and watch every Motley Crue video ever. So we just kind of took all the Motley Crue videos, without John Corabi, of course, those were thrown into the chimney, and we play those, whether it's their latest thing or Livewire, and see what kind of heavy metal education comes out of that. Because right next to it is going to be cattle decapitation.
Now, how can people go and watch heavy metal television?
This is one of the great parts of it. If you've got a good internet connection, and it really should work on anything, but one of the things that we're learning is that Apple, Microsoft, Google, all these different companies hate each other, DirecTV, whatever it is. So they're all on different platforms and stuff. So your best bet is to use really good internet, and whether that be Wi-Fi or a direct line in your flat screen TV, your desktop computer, your laptop. But all you have to do, and you don't even need to write this down, you just remember heavymetaltelevision.com, and wherever you are, you just put in heavymetaltelevision.com and kick back, because you don't even have to press play, and it's going, and in the middle of a song right now.
That's really cool.
That's just the weird part of it. Your computer functions the way your TV does. Alice Cooper's on right now. You just go to heavymetaltelevision.com, and it just starts just the way your TV does. You have no control. There's nothing. Nothing but
you also have... go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, sorry.
Well, I was going
to... You just have the ease of going to this station. I mean, you can have your bong in one hand and your flask in your other hand, and like your shotgun in your lap. You could enjoy anything with the heavy metal television. There's nothing to do. It really is a television channel. And if you can't use your eyes at the time, you can use it as your radio station when you're not listening to hard rock radio.
That's right. Got to listen to hardrockradiolive.com, though. Somewhere in there.
Hardrockradiolive.com. So basically, it's the easiest site to use in the world. There's no easier website to use, and, kind of our way of putting it is it's 24-hour heavy metal history, forever free. You just go on there, and it's just running. I think the most irritating thing will be some short commercials, which we are limiting our commercials to 19.5 seconds, people. You'll never see a commercial that even hits 20 seconds, and we're never even running commercials for more than a minute and a couple seconds at a time. So in an hour, you might have 5 or 6 minutes of breaks or bumpers and commercials, where if you watch DirecTV, cable, television, radio, typical FM radio, AM radio, or even antenna television, you get more than 15 minutes of commercials an hour. There's a bunch of reasons why this is cool, and you just leave it on, and you educate people and yourself about heavy metal music, and if you hate the band, within 5 minutes, you're going to find a band that you like, that you haven't seen, or accept balls to the wall will be on.
Well, that's way cool. I have really enjoyed having you on, Eric, and I hope that people will check out heavymetaltelevision.com. You can also check them over on Facebook at Heavy Metal Television, and all you have to do is type it in the search and you will find their Facebook. Go and watch it and see what kind of bands that you can find there too. You're listening to the Audio Sauna with me, Sinfully Luscious. Let's get to it right now.